Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adina and in today's video we're going to visit Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. We're going to spend 3 days here in the city and I'm just going to show you all the best sights and all the stuff to do. And we're going to sleeping in a capsule hotel, but I think it's going to be an extra interesting stuff. So stay with me. If you didn't subscribe to the channel yet, do it right now. And now let's go to visit Copenhagen. Right behind me you can see one of the most iconic landmark here in Denmark, which is the Little Mermaid statue, and it became famous because of Christiana's Andersen fairy tale about the Little Mermaid. And this scene behind me, it shows when the Little Mermaid came out to the ground and it became a human. It's very popular. Tourists are taking more than 3 million pictures per year about this small statue. So right now, let's keep up with this habit and let's shoot one. This statue is pretty small, it's only 120 centimeters tall, but its weight 175 kilograms and it's standing in here since 1917. This is the Castellat, which is basically a citadel here in Copenhagen, and this is one of the best preserved fortress in whole Northern Europe. This is still a military area, but mostly right now it's used as a public park. But even if the houses are just red and yellow and sweet colors, you can still feel this military vibe that it's not so friendly. But otherwise it's very pretty and so many people is just walking around. In here you can also find a windmill, and basically back in time it was 16 of them, but right now this is the only one which is still working and you can find it in here. It's standing in here since the 18th century, so it's pretty old. And this was a very important building because the fortified city needed supplies. So in this case they created the flour and also the grained oats in here. So this was a very important part of the area. Maybe in here you can see a little bit that this whole area has a pentagonal shape and all corners has a bastion. Look at this small park area behind me, it's just so amazing. Tons of small white and purple flowers just grow around everywhere. It's so beautiful. The wind is started to be big, so let's get inside, and our next destination is the Rosenborg Castle. Rosenborg is a Renaissance castle which dates back to the beginning of the 17th century, and originally it was built as a summer house. Right now we are in the writing room, and I must say that behind me this is a pretty fancy writing table as it's covered with gold. This palace was used as a royal residence until 1710, but after it was only 2 occasions when they used it again. It was once when the Christianborg Palace burned down, and it was a second occasion when British people conquered Copenhagen, and in this case they came here and used the palace again. Look at this creepy guy behind me. It totally looks like Chucky. What do you think? We was just, joking on it that right now just going to winkle on you. It can happen. We just arrived to the treasury and all around you can see crazy weapons, and we will also see the crown jewels, also the thrones and the coronation carpet. We have just finished in the Rosenborg Castle and we spent there around 2.5 hours. It was a great exhibition and we really enjoyed it, so I highly recommend you to check it out. And right now we're going to check out the best view to the city from the top of that church, which is the church of our Savior. I hope I pronounced it correctly. We're just going to go up there and look out to Copenhagen. Just right now, just walking up to the tower, to the church, and I must say that there are a few stairs also behind me, but also in front of me. Probably you can see it. I think it's a few hundred. Almost already on the top, but the view from here is already insane. Look at these guys. And just arrived to the top. Woo! Here you can really see that this is the top of the church, this small ball on the top. It's crazy windy up here, so probably not going to spend too much time, but the view is amazing, so it's so worth to come up to here. Right now we are just going to step into Christiana, which is kind of a separate city inside the city because they have different rules than in other side of Denmark or in Copenhagen. So I'm not sure that I will take photos or videos in all around because it's not everywhere allowed, but I will try to show you what I can. Let's jump inside on that gate over there. Right in the hand of a huge and friendly giant. Look at this, so amazing. You can find a few similar wooden sculptures like this around in Denmark. Maybe we're going to see them, it depends on the schedule, but for sure one you can find in here in Christiana, and it's just so sweet and you can take great photos with it. Many houses are covered with graffitis, and there is a part in here what they call it's a green lamp district because there are a few people who are selling greens to smoke, but it's not allowed, it's prohibited. They are still fighting against this, but it's also kind of accepted only in here in Christiana, so it's pretty interesting. We just have finished our trip in Christiana, and I must say that this was pretty interesting. I read about it that this was previously an abandoned military area, but kind of people take it for themselves. And right now at the moment around 1,000 people is living in here in Christiana, and basically it's kind of like a hippie spirit, I must say, that there is yoga and healthy food, but it's so cool. But on the other side, what I just told for you, really you can see that people are selling the greens on the street, and you can feel the smell and it's very strong. So it's kind of a free part of the city. I really like if it's super colorful, and this part is really nice. you have to come here and check it out for yourself and deciding that if you like it or not. I think it's interesting, but for sure I couldn't live here. It's end of day one and we just checked into our hotel, and let me show you because it's super interesting. I must say that this is kind of a capsule hotel but for two person, so these spaces are a little bit big. The name of the place is City Hub, and this is going to our hub right behind me. But as you can see, there are just small boxes through on the streets, and there are shared bathrooms and toilets, but they look pretty nice. And right now let me show you our hub. So let's use this wristband to check in. Green. And here we are. Hello. So we just arrived to our hub. As you can see, it's pretty small. Basically there is just a few hangers and a small bench in here to put down stuff, and our bed for two person, and that's all. But I think it's just totally enough if you just going to spend the night in here and sleeping. By the way, these hubs are noise cancelled. They also giving you towel and bathrobes, and there's also, you know, shampoo and everything else in the bathrooms. So to this trip we just also came with one backpack. Here is the one what I showed you in my previous video on the minimalist packing. So for this trip we just only came with one, and over there I also told you that if the accommodation going to give you so many stuff, then you will not have to bring. So in this case, here is the time when you can use this app. Alright, so this is going to be our hub for the night. Right now we are just going to have a shower and chill and relax, because today we just walked like, I don't know, 12 hours. So see you tomorrow. So here is another day. I cannot tell that it's sunny yet, but according to the weather forecast it's gonna be. The streets are very calm. Barely anyone is outside, but who is outside is cycling. Cycling is a very big hype in here, and actually the cycling roads are super cool because they are really separated from the roads, so you are totally unsafe. But anyway, right now we are going to get to have a great breakfast, fuel ourselves for our second day of sightseeing, so let's go. Our next stop is going to be the Botanical Garden. Actually we are already in here right now, and it's free of charge to visit, so I think it's a really nice walk. There is a small lake outside, and you only have to pay if you want to go into the farmhouse and you want to check it out, but on the photos it looks very nice. So we will go inside and I'm going to show you how it look like, but I highly recommend you to come here. It's a really nice walk. Let's go to the palm house. Plants are growing, we have to go underneath. You can come into the upstairs, and from here the view is very beautiful. There are just huge palm trees, but really huge leaves. They look crazy. In this Botanical Garden there are more than 9,000 pieces of flowers and different plants, and this is a huge collection, and I must say that this palm house, it's worth the ticket. I really love this tropical vibe. I recommend you to come inside. It's very, very nice. Right now we are in Town, what means New Harbor, but it's pretty interesting because this is one of the oldest part of the city, and as you can see there are tons of people in here. There are so many cafes and restaurants, so you can sit out in this beautiful weather like what we have right now today. Also, this part of the city is a must to check, and I think with these colorful houses and with the boats, this is something that you picture in front of yourself for the first time when you are thinking about in Copenhagen. So come here, it's really, really worth a visit. Right behind me you can see this narrow white house where Hans Christian Andersen, the writer, was living. So right now let's go to a Danish canal tour. Woo! Yes, I think this is a must. Unfortunately we were a little bit late, so already couldn't sit next to the window, but luckily there is an open roof, so in this case I was still able to take some shots. It's really pretty to go through the canals. I think it's really worth its price. It was only 50 Danish crown, so I think you must come take a boat tour in the canals. Other thing is also when you come into Copenhagen to get some street food. I was already really waiting for some great fish and chips. Right now we are in a street food place which is called Groken. I'm not sure if I'll say it right. I will write down to you. But there is another place called Reffen. Unfortunately it's not open yet. But if you are coming during the summertime, go there and check it out. And right now, let's eat. Nice. As you can see here in Bruins, you can get so many different types of fast foods. You can get Greek, you can get Mexican, you can get great burgers and the fish and chips. Plus there are some stations for drinks, there are also alcoholic and non-alcoholic, so you can find everything in here and have a great meal on the reasonable prices. Here is our third day in Copenhagen, and right now we are heading to the Zoological Museum. As yesterday we bought the joint ticket in the Botanical Garden, we also get admission to this museum, so right now we are going to check it out. Already several years in a row, Denmark became the second happiest country in the whole world, and they also have a word for this happiness what they have. It's called hygge. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Basically, it means that you have to feel confidence and calmness and just be happy, don't worry too much, spend the time with your loved ones. And as far we are spending it already 3 days, I can see that really Danish people are pretty calm. Also the city Copenhagen, even if it's a capital, it's not in rush and everybody is so kind and helpful. So this is a good way of lifestyle. And the next destination is Superkillen Park. I don't know how about you, but I have never seen a box ring on a street before. Only in here in Copenhagen. So interesting. This park is truly a playground for everyone. Kids are running around and there are also tables where you can play chess, backgammon and other stuffs. I also see two grilling spots where you can just bring out your stuff and you can bake it and cook it outside. And also on the other side of the park there are so many skating places, skate parks, yeah, it's better to say like that. And yeah, I really like it. It's really a public park and everyone is just enjoying it together. Right now we are heading to the National Museum. Actually the building is already right on my left side, but the entrance is going to be on the next corner. We wanted to go somewhere to check out some Viking history, and in here it should be some of them, so I'm interested how it's gonna be. Thank you. Bye. We are almost finished our trip in here in Copenhagen, but before we decided to stop on a very famous big burger place, what is Gasoline Grill. Actually, this is the best burger in here in Copenhagen, and once it also get on a world list of burgers, so I'm just so excited that how it's going to be. All of the burgers are created when ordered and they're made from fresh ingredients and everything is organic, so I'm very excited. And first let's try the fries, which are made with some truffle salt. Ooh, yeah. This is good. You can really feel the truffle. Now let's test the burger. How is the burger, man? Super tasty?
Yes.
Here is the moment of truth. Let's open it. Ooh, this looks decent. Yum! Now let's try to make a bite. Okay. From here. This is pretty nice. So right now we are just going to finish our burgers in here in Copenhagen in this beautiful park. And here is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, don't forget to smash that like button. Also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we're going to explore new places next week in the next video. See you guys! There are a few other attractions that you can also visit when you are in Copenhagen, but we didn't do it right now. Like Tivoli, which is one of the oldest amusement park in the whole world, but unfortunately it wasn't open yet, so this is the reason why we didn't went inside. Also you can check out the Christianberg's Palace and the round tower, what we saw from the outside, but it wasn't inside. So these are also a few attractions that I recommend you to check it out.